Well, good evening. I'm Bo Williams, and welcome to The 7. The biggest story on our Big 7 list tonight, a history-making decision out of a Manhattan courtroom. Former President Donald Trump found guilty on all 34 counts of falsifying business records. Now, prosecutors argued over the course of 6 weeks that Trump, through his former attorney and fixer Michael Cohen, paid porn actress Stormy Daniels $130,000 to keep quiet about an alleged affair in the run-up to the 2016 presidential election. Trump denied any wrongdoing and denied having any sexual encounter with Daniels. As he left the courtroom, the former president called the trial rigged and a disgrace.
I'm a very innocent man, and it's okay. I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. Our whole country is being rigged right now. This was done by the Biden administration in order to wound or hurt an opponent, a political opponent. And I think it's just a disgrace. And we'll keep fighting. We'll fight till the end and we'll win.
The former president has been free on bond through the trial and remains free tonight ahead of a July 11th sentencing hearing. Assuming the schedule holds, that hearing would happen the week before he is officially nominated as the Republican Party's candidate for president. Now, we turn to political analyst George Corda for some perspective about the impact of this verdict.
There's going to be now a precedent set by which both parties are going to try to figure out a way to have, let's just say, sympathetic prosecutors in various states find something to charge the opposing candidate with.
Court also noted that Trump's numbers have outperformed Biden's in many significant polls despite the bad press surrounding this and other trials that he is facing. We're also seeing responses tonight from Tennessee's U.S. senators, both of them Republicans. Senator Marsha Blackburn writing in a statement, quote, "Today's verdict is an undemocratic and un-American weaponization of our justice system against Trump, who Joe Biden knows he can't beat at the ballot box." Blackburn's fellow Tennessee Republican, Senator Bill Hagerty, tweeting, quote, "What a surprise. The political fix is so obviously in," end quote. Now, we'll, of course, keep track of the fallout from this verdict in the days ahead. Emergency personnel are urging those in the community to find other locations to swim after multiple people were rescued earlier this week in Peary's Mill Dam. According to the Blount County Fire Protection District, 4 people were rescued Tuesday after 2 people were caught in the water and others tried to help them out. Captain Jason Stinnett says one of their own was injured in the process. You know, each summer, Stinnett tells us that they are called out to assist in some way in the same location. And it's often people who are panicking in the water despite warnings being posted. He says people get stuck underwater because of the strong current created by the dam, and he advises those in the area to stay away from it.
So many places to swim. We got Great Lakes around the area, lots of spots up and down the river. If you want to swim at the dam, stay below the dam and not above. And then, of course, if you're going to get out far, always wear a life jacket or a PFD.
Since 2018, at least 2 people have died from drowning in the dam, and many have been rescued from it. Well, a popular summer destination remaining closed this weekend after a scary moment over the holiday weekend. Mead's Quarry Lake at the Iams Nature Center will be remaining closed so staff can finish up installing safety signage and equipment along the back wall of the lake. As we have reported, a part of the back wall of the quarry collapsed into the water. The scary scene caught on camera by one of our viewers. Take a look.
Jesus Christ.
You know, this video we received from a 6 News viewer shows a few of the rocks falling into the water, as you saw, before that whole left side of the quarry wall came crashing down. Knoxville Fire reported to the scene shortly after the rock face fell. Thankfully, though, they just reported 1 minor injury. And to make sure no one else gets hurt, Iams will be installing new regulatory buoys and floating rope lines to clearly define where it is safe and not safe to go swimming.
Now, of course, what we're doing is just making sure that safety is at the forefront of our plans for moving forward. We have been lucky that we were able to work with a geologist to help confirm some things for us. That back wall is of a concern. It's one of those things that we can mitigate for it by just making sure that people don't go within a certain distance of it. So we should be fine.
IAM said they anticipate that this work will go through the weekend, potentially even Monday. To check when the quarry will reopen, follow IAMS on social media. As soon as they give the all clear, of course, we will update this story on our website for you at WATE.com. Last night, City of Knoxville held a public meeting to discuss plans for a $27 million road work project on Washington Pike, though it may be a few years, though, before the actual construction begins. Now, the project will add turn lanes and widen the section of Washington Pike between I-640 and Murphy Road, which is about a 1.5 mile stretch. Now, the goal is to decrease traffic and increase safety, as there's an accident every 4 days at the road's intersection with Life Spring Lane. This is all according to the city. Before the project can begin, though, the city has to acquire properties from owners along the road, which actually may be a lengthy process.
There's about 50 parcels that need some form of acquisition from the property for the project widening. It's on both sides of the road. These are generally small slivers of property along the front. Because there's so many properties, it's going to take 18 to 24 months to complete all of those acquisitions.
During construction, Washington Pike will still be open to cars, as most of the work will be along the roadway. Of course, we'll have more on this for you at WATE.com. A Knoxville man is behind bars charged with driving under the influence and leaving the scene of an accident after critically injuring a 20-year-old woman. We're told last night around 7:15, 49-year-old Matthew Christian rear-ended a woman on a Vespa at the intersection of Middlebrook and Amherst Road in West Knoxville. The woman was thrown off the Vespa and taken to UT Medical Center with critical, life-threatening injuries. Officers were able to track down Christian after seeing his car had noticeable front-end damage consistent with the crash. The crash remains under investigation tonight, and the woman's injuries are considered again to be life-threatening. Knoxville Police Department has a new deputy chief of professional standards, and it's a familiar face. Retired federal judge Bruce Guyton was named to the position today. Judge Guyton has been serving as the interim deputy chief of professional standards since July of 2023. You likely remember Guyton from his time served as a United States magistrate judge in the Eastern District of Tennessee. He was in that role for nearly 20 years after founding a local law firm. Chief Paul Noel says he's happy to have the judge serve full-time on KPD's leadership team. Now, in a statement, the chief saying, quote, Judge Guyton is thoughtful, measured, and consistent. He is a great fit within our department and has proven to be an incredibly valuable member of our team. He continues saying, quote, he also intimately understands his role to evaluate our policies and procedures and lead our efforts to implement the nationally recognized best practices. At the City Council meeting earlier this week, council members approved grants from the Historic Prevention Program totaling close to $250,000. The grant money is to support property investments at the Knoxville Botanical Center and Arboretum and the Birdhouse Neighborhood Center. Projects are funded and secured through a 5-year forgivable loan, but the improvements must be completed by June of 2025. Now, first up, Knoxville Botanical Garden and Arboretum, the 44-acre nursery, will be getting a little over $240,000 to rehabilitate the visitor center roof and foundation, replace the maintenance building roof, and additional preservation efforts. The Botanical Garden was listed on the National Register of Historic Places in July of 2022. And the 133-year-old Birdhouse Neighborhood Center in North Knoxville will be receiving over $7,500 to repaint and replace portions of deteriorating wood siding and replace the front door. The Historic Preservation Fund has secured over $2.7 million in funding over the last decade to preserve historic sites like these across Knoxville.